Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Jason Cappuccino of Sashes&Scripts, where you get relevant news and updates as well as fearless opinions on issues related to pageantry. So for today's video, we will be talking about major updates on 4 ongoing and upcoming pageants. First on that list is the Miss World organization's final state, which has been indefinitely postponed as announced earlier earlier last week. This is no surprise kasi nga Metro Manila is currently facing an increase and rise in COVID infections, and the culprit is said to be or is allegedly the Delta variant, which is much more contagious and much more infectious than the previous other strains. Ngayon kasi natatakot ang gobyerno sa posibilidad na magkaroon ng mas maraming infections in the coming months if this more infectious variant is not controlled. It is expected na baka umabot ng kalahating milyon ang mahahawa ng COVID by the end of August alone within Metro Manila kung hindi sila gagawa ng mga steps to control the spread of this virus. Now, I believe na suspension is the best plan of action for now for the Miss World Philippines kasi nga hindi rin nila maiwasan na hindi sumunod sa patakaran ng IATF. That being said, I think that the option I think that they have basically around 2 options. Either one, wait it out that the August 20 restrictions on the ECQ is lifted up, or dalhin nila yung competition or yung patimpalak sa ibang lugar. Now, that is easier said than done kasi hindi ganun kadali ang logistics ng paglilipat ng venue ng isang pageant mula Metro Manila sa ibang probinsya. Kung sakasakali mang gawin nila ito, kinakailangan nilang isipin yung safety and well-being ng hindi lang ng mga kandidata, kundi pati yung mga taong involved sa production and sa behind the scenes na pagpapatakbo ng pageant. Isa pa sa pwedeng mangyaring issue is paano kung may isa sa kanila kay kandidata o tao behind the scenes or member of the press or member of the organization na may asymptomatic pala ng COVID na sakit, and madala niya ito sa probinsya kung saan wala pang outbreak. So that's one of the dangers na pwede nilang harapin if they chose to move the pageant to another venue. And isa pang, I think, malaking hurdle dito is what if meron silang kaso doon with Okada and nagkapirmahan sila ng kontrata. So that's one of the things na hindi madaling lusutan, hindi pwedeng laktawin ng basta-basta, especially if there is a agreement in writing. For now, what I believe that the candidates can do is to use this time to strengthen your campaign for the pageant. Kasi nakita naman natin na yung isang taon na postponement ng Binibining Pilipinas made it possible for non-popular or less popular candidates to actually have a fighting chance to be noticed by pageant fans. And yung mga candidates na ito hindi nagpatumpik in having their presence in social media strengthened. And what they did was they utilized social media to be visible to the fans, to gather support on social media, and they allowed themselves to be accessible, to be visible to pageant fans through their social media, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. Hindi rin naging sagabal yung postponement ng pageant para sa mga Binibining Pilipinas candidates to be very active in approaching pageant vloggers, admins to have their them featured in their channels. So sa mga Miss World Philippines candidates, I believe that you can take this opportunity, this postponement as a positive thing para palakasin yung campaign ninyo for the titles that you want. So this would mean that for those front runners who are aiming for the Miss World Philippines title, use this time to strengthen your MWPh project. For those na ang ini-aim is the Earth or eco titles and environment titles, they should use this to show what they have done in terms of their advocacy for those crowns. Ang importante dito is yung hindi maging tamad ang mga kandidata, because this is an opportunity where you can really make use of the time that is allotted, that is idle time for you to create a better impression on social media for the pageant fans. Now, on the second competition na pag-uusapan natin for this video it's the Mr. and Miss Supranational pageant that's happening later on this August in Poland. The Mr. Supranational finals will be held in August 21, with the Miss Supranational finals happening a day after. J.E. Adahar, our representative for the Mr. Supranational title, is allegedly going to leave around or before August 10th, while Dindi Pajares has left August 4th in the evening. Sa ngayon, naghihintay na lang tayo ng mga further updates on the schedules, activities, photo shoots, tourist visits, and whatnot on the pageant itself. So on that front, we will be expecting that there will be more information made available to everybody in the next few days. In the meantime, we're just waiting for more arrivals of the candidates to happen in Poland, because right now hindi rin naman ganun kadali ang pagkuha ng visa, ang pag-travel, because there are countries na walang direct flights going to Poland, and hindi rin naman ganun kadali ang kumuha ng Schengen visa and hindi rin din ganun kadali yung mag-prepare ng wardrobe ng mga kakailanganin for the international pageant later on. So before we continue this video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more pageant-related content. Now, the next pageant that we'll be talking about is the Miss Universe Philippines pageant. By now, the top 75 have been named. After the second challenge, natapos na ang headshot and ang video intro na challenges. And sa tingin ko, ang isa sa mga naging downside ng app voting is that mas naging popularity challenge siya as compared to an actual challenge for the ladies. Kumbaga, there are some certain disadvantages for the ladies na hindi ganun kalakas ang makinarya o hindi ganun kapopular o hindi ganun kalaki ang fan base as compared to other more established women, other more candidates who have bigger fan base. The good thing though is that nawala yung emphasis on social media, because you can only vote for the candidates at the Miss Universe app. So if you're not someone who is that active on social media, medyo may puntos ka dahil you are judged fairly a little bit fairly in a platform where everyone has equal opportunity, kumbaga, to be noticed. The only downside to this, though, as I said, if you are not a popular candidate, may konting setback on your part. So candidates really need to make sure that they have a good team behind them, good photographers, videographers, a good editing team to really make sure that the best content is placed and is put out there. The best photos are being submitted, and the best styling is provided to the candidate. Now, the candidates will be narrowed down from 100 to 75 to 50 to 30, and these 30 will eventually become the candidates who will compete for the final leg of the competition. Now, the top 50 candidates, it mentions in press releases, in news reports, that the top 50 candidates will be announced on August 23rd, and they are the ones who will be flying to Manila. They will be later narrowed down to a top 30 after interviews are being held. The final stretch of the Miss Universe Philippines competition will kick off around September 4, with the coronation night set on September 25. Now, these dates, we have to be very careful with these dates, because there are also news and speculations rather, that the August 20 lifting, the last day of the ECQ of as mandated by the government, might extend longer or further down the line. So let's not get our hopes high, because pwede kasi na ang date na ito maurong pa ng maurong. We are not out of the woods yet when it comes to the pandemic, and nakikita natin na with the rising cases that is currently happening in Metro Manila, pwede pang lumala ito if we're not being careful, if we're not able to lower down the number of cases per day. So let's keep our fingers crossed, because we all want to have we all want na bumalik tayo sa normal, na bumalik yung semblance of normality and daily routine natin sa buhay. And that will not happen until makontrol natin itong nangyayari because of the pandemic. With that being said, kung marami sa inyo nagtataka why we haven't been regularly posting about the Miss Universe Philippines pageant, that's because we are not accredited media with the pageant, and we don't have any plans of applying for one. We will, however, be starting to update and cover the pageant once na narrowed down to the top 30 yung mga candidates, because right now I feel that with the Miss World Philippines, with the Miss Supranational pageant, concurrently, fighting for time and resources, we have to make certain adjustments on how we do our postings and coverages. Since medyo malayo-layo pa naman ang finals ng Miss Universe Philippines, I think it makes more sense that we cover the pageant when top 30 na lang ang naglalaban-laban. And now for the final pageant update, we have the Miss South Africa 2021 competition. Lately, they have announced the top 10 candidates who will be vying for the Miss South Africa title. And the finals will be on October 16th. So medyo malayo-layo pa rin din naman ito. It might happen that by then, mas makikilala na natin yung mga kandidata na pagpipilian for the title. And I would say that much like in the past editions of the Miss South Africa pageant, this year, in terms of diversity, in terms of achievements, this year is another year where we get ladies with really meaty resumes, really meaty pageant resumes, and lahat ng mga kandidatang sumali this time, lahat ng mga napili for the top 10 official candidates are achievers on their own. Looking at their bios right now, the 10 finalists, we have like one law student who is in her final year. We have a pilot and a flight instructor. We have a ballerina who is also a law degree holder, and then we have another dance instructor who is also an entrepreneur and a business owner. A model who established her own modeling agency. We have a fashion design student. Finally, I think this is one of the the rarities that we see in pageants. We have also a graphic design student and another student at the Nelson Mandela University taking bachelor's in human movement science. And we also have one candidate who is actually a frontliner, who is a practicing doctor. So in terms of the candidates, the quality of candidates, I'm very excited for this pageant, and we will be putting out a separate video on the Miss South Africa Top 10 finalists probably later on. What I'm excited about this is that may puti, may itim, may brown skinned, may achiever, may models, may lawyers, may doctors. There are a lot of women here na kahit hindi mo tignan yung physicality ng kanilang appearance, ng kanilang anyo, mabigat yung idadala nilang experience, mabigat yung idadala nilang life stories into the competition. And these women, they are not just simple models or simple pageant hopefuls, but they are women who have achieved something in their lives and have achieved something in their career. So maganda na pagtuunan natin ng pansin itong competition again this year, because ang daming magagandang candidates and ang daming candidates na mabigat ang dadalhin nilang achievements into the competition. So with all those updates, I think that this is going to be an exciting pageant season. I'm hoping that later on we get more updates. We get more meaty information about the candidates in these various competitions that I've mentioned. And that's it from on my end. I hope to see you in the next video. Please make sure again to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and see you again soon. Bye everyone. Take care.